Park the vehicle in a safe location. Once the vehicle is parked safely, mark the front and the back of your vehicle with your safety cones. Next, place a yard sign with the appropriate area code so that the sign can be seen from traffic in both directions. Before starting your job, you want to do your damage and service review. Evaluate the home so that you're clear of any trouble areas before starting. In this clip, we're showing some green mold, which is common on the siding. Underneath the eaves is a collection of dirt and contaminants. Shown here is some mildew on the siding, which our cleanser will take care of. Some more mildew on the fascia and soffits. You want to be sure to address this. The paint chipped off this wood post and railing is something you want to mark down on your damage check. Here you can see some swirl marks where someone previously got too close while washing the home and removed the oxidation unevenly. Also mark this on your damage check. Mark down this broken window trim as well as the streaking on the window, which will need some additional cleaning attention. Here's another area of chip paint on the door frame and some rust on the bottom of the door. Note the screen is brittle and oxidized, as well as the siding below. If you rub your hand across the siding and get a chalky residue on your hand, you will know it's oxidized, and you will want to be aware of this and stay a safe distance away so you don't unevenly remove the oxidation and make it blotchy like the last pressure washer did, as we saw earlier. Note all of your notes and review them with the customer in person, over the phone, or by voicemail. Now it's time to prep the property for your service. Remove all items from around the home and move them to a safe distance away. This will include items such as furniture, doormats, wreaths, potted plants, and any other items the customer may have around the property. Place them neatly a safe distance away from the home. Keep a mental note of where the items are so you can replace them to the original spot. You want to move the items far enough away so that no water or cleanser is contacted while doing your house wash. Before starting the wash, you will need to hook your water supply hose up to the nearest spigot. When dragging any hoses, be careful not to drag them over anything delicate. Once the spigot is located, turn the spigot on to check for adequate flow and to flush any debris from the spigot. Connect your supply hose snugly to the spigot. Then gently turn on the spigot all the way. Next, it's time to make your house wash mix. Fill the bucket with algicide to the blue line when using a blue machine. To do this, remove the cap from your algicide drum, remove the lid from the bucket, and place your siphon pump into the algicide drum and the fill hose into your bucket. Tighten the red cap at the top of the siphon pump and begin pumping to get the solution to flow into the bucket. Once you've pumped, it will establish a siphon effect and continue to flow into the bucket. Once it's to the blue line, you will release the cap on the top of the pump to stop the siphoning. Remove the siphon from the blue drum and your bucket, and make sure the solution drains out both ends before removing. Replace your siphon pump to its original location. Replace your lid on your algicide drum. Next, you will add fresh water to your bucket. Fill the bucket all the way up until there's only space for 1 more gallon of solution to be added. Next, you will add your pink soap. Shake it up before you pour it into your bucket. Add 1 full gallon of pink soap to your house wash mix. Replace the empty gallon jug and secure the lid on your bucket so that when you move it, you don't have any spills. Place the bucket in the bucket holder and remove the lid. Place the correct soap injector line into the bucket, making sure it reaches the bottom of the bucket. Attach your wand to your high pressure hose and bring it to the starting point. Make sure to pull the hose from the hose itself and not the wand so that you don't put stress on the fittings. Again, be careful when dragging hoses not to bring them over any delicate areas. Bring your wand and hose to your starting point at the furthest point. It is now time to start your machine. Before starting the machine, fully pull the choke out and then turn the key until the machine starts. Once the machine starts, Slowly depress the choke until it's all the way in and the machine is running. Next, grab a bottle of your gutter zap and your soft bristle brush and bring that to the starting point as well. You will always want to have your brush and gutter zap on you when doing a house wash. First, you want to establish the direction you will be washing by checking the laps in the siding to ensure that when you wash, you're pushing the water over the laps as to not get water behind the siding. The water should flow this way over the laps of the siding. Here's a demonstration of replacing a piece of loose siding. First, snap the bottom piece in all the way across and then push the siding up to replace it. Before starting, you'll need to pre-wet the windows and all surrounding vegetation with fresh water. Install your rinse low tip and make sure you are spraying fresh water and wet down all these areas before beginning. Next, install your soap low tip and spray it onto the foundation until you establish a flow of soap. Once you have a flow of soap, you can begin soaping. Begin by soaping the corner so that you hit both sides of the corner. Next, start from the bottom and move upwards in a left to right direction. Move to the next section and repeat the same process. Left to right motion and work your way up the house. Spray until the soap low tip runs out of range, and you will then switch to your soap high tip to soap the higher areas. You can see we're soaping the soffits and fascia well where we saw the black mildew. Once the soap is applied and the mildew disappears, you will start rinsing from the top down. Use your rinse high for the higher areas and start at the top. Before you move down, make sure everything is rinsed well. Start with the fascias and soffit. Continue working downward until you're 100% sure all the soap is rinsed off. You will want to make sure windows are rinsed well so they do not dry with any spotting. Take a moment to rinse the windows on the opposite side so they don't dry with any spotting. Next, switch to your rinse low and begin rinsing where you left off with your rinse high. Rinse from one side to the other in the direction so the water flows over the laps. You want to create a waterfall effect in front of your spray pattern to make sure all the soap and contaminants are pushed off the side in one direction. This will make sure you have a thorough rinse when you're rinsing the siding. You can see the water running down the siding in front of your spray pattern. When that side is complete, begin to soap the next side in the same manner. Do the edges first, and then start at the bottom, side to side, and work towards the top. This side has gutters, so we will be scrubbing those as well before our rinse. Again, when you run out of range with the soap low, switch to your soap high for the higher areas of the home. And soap from the bottom up. When you're done soaping, install the rinse high and bleed the soap out of the line onto the higher areas of the home if there's any you need to reach. This will get all the soap out of your line so that you're ready to rinse. Now that we have fresh water in our line, we'll again rinse the windows on the opposite side to keep any overspray from drying on the windows and rinse it off. Windows need to be rinsed very thoroughly multiple times throughout the process. Now it's time to scrub the gutters while the soap is working on this side. First, fully saturate your gutter brush with solution. You will first apply the solution to the gutter to get it to start working before you're scrubbing. First, run over the face of the gutter, and then the underneath, as well as the fascia lip below. Next, work in long strokes until the streaks are removed from the gutter. You will need to scrub over the gutter several times in most cases to remove the streaking. You will also be scrubbing the downspouts. Do this in the same manner as the gutters. Next, you will quickly rinse the solution off the gutters. Spray at a hard angle so that you're pushing the solution in one direction off the gutters. Because some time has passed, you'll want to also re-wet the areas you soaped so that the soap doesn't dry while you're scrubbing the gutters. Next, we're going to rinse this higher section where there is no gutters so the soap doesn't dry while we're scrubbing the remainder of the gutters. Again, begin with the fascia and soffit, and then the siding below. Before scrubbing the next gutter, again, resaturate your brush with solution. Again, first apply the solution to the gutter to get it to start working before the scrubbing process. If you were to just start scrubbing, it wouldn't have enough time to work. Go over the face, the underneath, and also the fascia lip below the gutter. Continue to the next higher section of gutter. Make sure to get the end caps of the gutter as well. You also want to hit both sides of the downspout. When you're done scrubbing, again, quickly rinse the solution from the gutter in one direction so that it doesn't dry. Next, we will rinse the upper siding so that it doesn't dry when we are working below. When using either the soap high or the rinse high, you will need to stay a safe distance away from the home as it is a direct spray pattern and you do not want to get too close. Pre-wet the windows again to keep the solution wet until you're done. Again, resaturate your brush with solution before moving on to the next gutter. If you come across any stubborn areas that aren't coming off with the soap solution, you can use your gutter brush to help remove those. Here we're removing some fireplace soot with our brush. You don't want to leave anything on the home without a good effort put forth first. In most cases, the soap will remove everything from the siding, but eventually you will need to use the brush. In most cases, soap will remove everything from the siding, but occasionally you will need to use the brush. There are some areas that just need a little agitation to get them to come off. Next, install your rinse low and rinse the gutter and lower section of siding before moving on to the next section. Again, push the soap off the gutter in one direction. Rinse the areas you scrubbed on the home quickly so that they do not dry. Next, rinse the siding. When you start the next side, again, begin at the corners. Then, start from the bottom up, moving in the left to right direction. Once you run out of range with the soap low, install your soap high. Again, stand further back from the home when either using the soap high or the rinse high. Continue soaping the remainder of the home. Before rinsing, you will need to bleed the line from soap. If needed, you can install your rinse high and bleed the soap onto the higher sections of the home. Once you're sure all the soap is out of the line, you can begin rinsing. Start on one side and rinse the windows below this porch that have gotten soap on them, as we do not want them to dry. Next, start at the top with your rinse high and rinse from top to bottom. Start at the top and work in a downward direction, but don't start rinsing below until you're sure all the soap above you is rinsed clean. Once you're done with the upper section, switch to the rinse low. Again, work in one direction and push the soap in one direction over the laps of the siding. Again, create that waterfall effect in front of your spray pattern. Work in a side-to-side motion and work your way down the house. Make sure windows are rinsed very thoroughly. Continue working down the side until the entire side is rinsed clean. Take a moment to rinse the surrounding windows as well. When your wash is complete, walk around the property and inspect your wash. If there's anything that needs touch up, you will need to do this before leaving the house so you don't get a callback. Sometimes a rag can be handy on lower areas just to touch it up and make it look nice. During our walk around, we noticed these streaks remain on the bottom of these windows. We're going to give these a shot with our rag as well. This is something you would not want to leave on the home, as it could cause a callback. A little extra effort goes a long way. These streaks actually come right off with a dry rag. When your walk around is complete and the job is looking good, it's time to replace the items to their original location. When everything is as clean as possible, you've checked everything over and replaced all the items, walk around and make your notes. Paint a clear picture of your results and also note any concerns.